It's Landon with A1 Comics. We have a special video to kind of present some really exciting material that we've recently brought in. All of this came in through a trade, and the customer traded for a super key and was very, very happy. But it took a lot of material to get up there, but we're really willing to kind of make it work for anyone who desires these books, when we want to figure out a way for people to acquire these books that's comfortable for them and also works for us, and this is just a great example of it. So having this group of books together right now as it came in is kind of a treat and a privilege for us. We don't get to do it very often. Usually things get pieced out really quickly, but since they're all together right now, we thought we'd go through the raw material and kind of talk about what's going to be sent off to CG&Y, and also spend some time highlighting the really neat CGC material that will be available on Friday during the live sale from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, some just quick examples. This is a modern book. It's like a little lenticular that came out a little while ago, but 9/8 white pages, still has some value. Great for the Wonder Wheel. Get that over here. Let's see, we got Daredevil 110. Just a neat Bronze Age book in high grade. Fun stuff. I'm gonna skip through a couple here. And we got Batman Beyond #1. This is the first appearance. There's a few different versions of this book. There's a newsstand, and I believe a promotional version as well, which are both more expensive than this one, but still a book you don't see super often. Great key from the 90s. 8/0 white pages for $3.50. That'll be available Friday. Let's see, we got the Detective Comics 31, Neil Adams cover homage for Batman 227, 6/0 off white pages for $7.50. Neat stuff. We recently had a 9/8 of this book here, The Incredible Hulk 340, classic Todd McFarlane cover. This is a 9/6, significantly more affordable, as the 9/8 is almost 4 times as expensive. So it's a very interesting book. Speaking of hot books, Ghost Rider #1. We had a drought on this book for a very long time. Now we have a few copies that are a variety of grades and prices. So there's something for everyone. Ghost Rider #1. Have they done a Ghost Rider Ghostbuster crossover? They should. White pages 7/5 for $8.75. Really cool. Hard to get in high grade with the black rim, but great book. And then here's some modern stuff. We got an X-Men 1, 9/8. Fan copy, white pages. Let's see. Classic Wonder Wheel material. Always fun to keep CGC books up there. We did a X-Men Volume 2 #4 yesterday during the mystery box sale. That was a lot of fun. Got people really excited. Werewolf by Night #32, 9/2 off-white to white pages for $10,000. This book's really shot up as we get closer and closer to Moon Knight being featured in the MCU. Lots of announcements for that book. Something that's come and gone but has held its value is the Avengers 196, first Taskmaster, as made famous by the Black Widow film, which I enjoyed. 9/4 white pages. Let's see. Special Marvel edition, #15. Speaking of characters that are currently featured in films in theaters, this is first Shang-Chi, 5/0 off-white to white pages for $6.50. So that'll be great for the live sale. It's a kind of a nice mid-grade, still looks very good. It's gonna hold, it's gonna hold together. It's not falling apart like a 1/8 or 2/0, but still $650 for a black rim book that's gonna be hard to find in high grade, I think is a great pickup. This is kind of a modern blue chip staple. First Venom. We got the Venom Carnage movie coming up in a month. This is a newsstand, 9/2 white pages for $1,500. So again, all of this is a part of the same trade for one book. So it's really fun to see kind of what these turn into, a whole variety of transactions that are possible here at the comic shop. Nova #1, off-white to white pages for $275. It's an 8/5. Cool Bronze Age book. Avengers 57 and the 7/0, First Vision, $900. This is a great example of a book that's cooled off a little bit. It gained a lot of value with when Vision was introduced to the MCU. He got his own TV show with Wanda in WandaVision. But the overall kind of initial excitement has passed. This book has plateaued a little bit. So until we see that character again in a new light in different media, this is a great book to pick up if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint. as it's kind of leveled off and is kind of getting primed to take off again. So again, it's a Silver Age Marvel key. It's a 12 center. There's a very limited supply of these books, so if you can pick one up for under $1,000, it's really attractive. I highly recommend doing so. First, Old Man Logan. Kind of falls into that similar category, just in a much smaller scale. This is Wolverine Volume 366, $95 for 9/4 white pages. Beautiful. Ooh. Modern cover homages. This is a Hulk 181 homage, so we have Wolverine and Weapon H. And they kind of did it with the classic framing and style. 9/8 white pages for 105. It's a lot of fun. Good stocking stuffer if it fit in a stocking and we were close to Christmas. Silver Surfer number 3, 6/5, off-white pages. First Mephisto, $1,550. Beautiful book, soon to be made famous by Christian Bale, I think. Is that the announcement?
I think it's God Butcher.
Oh, you're right. It was rumored for a while that, yeah, okay. Anyways. Fantastic Four 48. This is a 3/5 off-white to white pages for $2,550. I believe I'm going to sneeze in the next 30 seconds, so excuse me ahead of time. We'll see. Maybe I can power through. Amazing Spider-Man 50, cream to off-white pages, 7/0. This is, I think, a forever undervalued key. This is the first Kingpin who's a A-list villain for Spider-Man and Daredevil. Almost said Deadpool. He's probably a villain for Deadpool at some point too. But still, a villain for Daredevil and Spider-Man. It has an iconic cover. It's a 12-cent Silver Age Marvel super key, in my opinion. Not quite like, it's not an Action 1, obviously not Detective 27, but relative to the other keys in the first 100 Spider-Man, I think it kind of gets that super label. But for a 7/0, you're still only looking at $2,950. Compared that to Amazing Spider-Man 14, first Green Goblin, or even the first Sandman or Electro. I think Kingpin is just as big of a deal as far as villains go. I think this has the best cover of all those books, and it's significantly more affordable. So, something to discuss in the comments below. Is this one of those things where I say the comments below? Okay. Smash that like button. No, edit that out. New Mutants 98, 9/4 white pages, first Deadpool, $625. A lot of new things coming with Deadpool. We got X-Force coming up. We got Deadpool 3 coming up. Those might be the same project. Who knows? Maybe Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I think it's still a very exciting book. And again, the initial excitement for that book has come and gone, so it's a good time to get that. Avengers 28. This is a very underrated book too, because this is the first collector, and that was played by Benicio del Toro in the Guardians movie. He did a great job. We're going to see the collector again and again and again as more Marvel stories take place in kind of that cosmic, kind of interdimensional, cosmic, planetary realm. Guardians, Thor, all that stuff is kind of going that direction. It's not a very memorable cover, unfortunately, which is one of the main reasons this has probably been looked over. There's a strong correlation between cover attractiveness and keys, longevity, holding value, etc. But it's still the first collector. So it's a 5/0 off-white to white pages for $175. And this is also when Giant Man becomes Goliath, which is also a pretty big key. So very affordable. It's only $175. We got Wolverine Origins 10. We're bouncing all over the place, whether it's modern, Bronze Age, or silver. Retailer Incentive Edition has a third claw. It's only a 9/2 white pages, but still $450. This is a pretty big key. First Dakin, who I hear is a big deal. Detective Comics 359. Speaking of big deals, we got Batgirl. 6/0 off-white to white pages. $2,000. You don't see these much higher than 4/0, 4/5 as often. Same with the Poison Ivy, Penguin, Scarecrow, all of the Silver Age DC keys. I think they were read a lot, they were traded a lot. They don't get the Marvel chipping, but at the same time, I just think they were interacted with more physically when they came out, so you just don't see them as often in high grade. So a 6/0 on that is really tough to come by. Gambit, first Gambit. Channing Tatum, right? Yeah. Maybe, we'll see. X-Men 266, 9/4 white pages for $450. Beautiful cover. New Mutants 87 for $275. Some fun stuff coming up on the live sales. Thor 337, First Beta Ray Bill, newsstand 9.4 white pages for $350. Cool. Oh, there's Avengers 1 in here. Save the best for last. Nice. I didn't even plan that. 3.5 off-white pages, a ton of first appearances. And we got the Teen Brigade. It's a blue label, 3.5 off-white pages for $6,150. Right over here. Okay, so there's a bunch of books that came in that we're not really going to spend much time on. But these are just modern books that were traded in all towards that larger key. So it's a great way to get your hands on bigger books that you might have thought were out of reach. If you have a lot of smaller things that people are going to be interested in, we're more than happy to give you some store credit for that towards a bigger book. However, here's some books that we're going to send off to CGC and probably have them cleaned and pressed. And we're looking for or hoping for certain grades. Usually pretty confident. There are still surprises nowadays. So this is a 4.5 as is. It probably won't get much higher than a 4.5, maybe a 5.0, maybe a 5.5. There is some color touch on this book. So this will end up being a purple label. That being said, this book is typically easier to sell once it's been graded, especially with the square spine and just it's a more expensive book. So the CGC grade gives customers a lot of confidence in the book, in the grade, and in its value, especially in books that are more difficult to grade. So Silver Age and Bronze Age versus modern books. We have Batman 155. This is at least a 5.5. After a clean and press, we're going to be hoping for a 6.5. We're usually looking for a grade or more bump, which makes the clean and press worth it. And obviously sending it off to CGC and waiting for 6 months until we've completely forgot about its existence, and then it shows up in the store and we're excited again like it's Christmas. So this is the first Silver Age Penguin. Pretty big DC key. Werewolf by Night #1. Not that expensive, just one of my favorite books. This is a high grade copy. This is a 9.0. Probably you're looking for a 9.2 or a 9.4 when it comes back from CGC. So minimum around $650. Still, Werewolf by Night #1. It's a sweet Marvel Bronze Age #1 that's really looked past. It's a beautiful book. It's a lot of fun and it's still very, very affordable. First Juggernaut. This is a 4.0 as is. We'll probably be hoping for a 4.5 or a 5.0. Great key. Another First Sentinels. This is a 5.0. Probably be hoping for a 6.0 or so. Again, when a lot of the, what creates the lower grade is the spine wear, like a lot of the color breaking spine ticks and just general wear. It's been read many times. That's really not going to be fixed, obviously, from cleaning at all or from a press, but the book will become more presentable, which has a higher perceived value, which won't necessarily add to the sticker price, but it will make the book more attractive and hence easier to sell. Fantastic 449, beautiful black cover. This is a 4.5, same as the X-Men 14. Probably won't increase in technical grade from the clean and press, but presentability will increase and perceived value will increase. We have a Batman 189. This is the first Scarecrow, so we do have some cool DC keys snuck in here. This is a 6.0 as is. I think this one can actually bump up to a 7.5 or an 8. With a clean and press, it will benefit greatly, and it just presents very well. Great colors, darker cover, and just awesome design, awesome layout, awesome art. Here's a fan favorite. It's not really a key except Hulk and Thing fight each other, which fans always got excited about, and it's featured very well on the cover. It's a black cover. This one as is a 5.5. I don't see it going up too much, maybe a 6, maybe a 6.5. But it's just a really fun book to have. These sell quickly. Nowadays, within 12 to 24 hours, as soon as we post it, it sells. Oh, Marvel Spotlight 5. Speaking of Ghost Rider keys, not Ghostbusters. This book can benefit, I would say, of this entire batch the most from a clean and press and sending it to CGC. Right now it's a 7. I think this book could get as high as an 8.5 or a 9. The reason for that is that the crimping along the spine really decreases the grade as it is, but most of the crimping does not break color, so it's not permanent. So once you press it out, all of those like negative half grades, negative full grades you're going to get from all these big old crimps right here will go away, which is why I do believe it can go up as many as 2 full grades, which would be 4 notches. And of course, that would greatly affect the value of this book. So it's definitely worth the time and the store's interest and the effort and the energy to get this from a 7.0, which would be about $3,000, up to a 9, which I haven't done my homework on it, which I know will at least quadruple it, if not more. So that's very exciting. Strange Tales 138, 7.5 for $295. First Eternity. Kind of bigger in the cosmic side of things, again, kind of like the collector. It's a fun key. There's a lot of awesome books, especially minor keys in your Strange Tales, Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish. If the main titles have become too expensive for you, or you already have them all and you're looking for something else to collect, I highly recommend those titles for the Marvel 12 Centers, Silver and Bronze Age. It's a great place to find a lot of really interesting books, a lot of cool covers, great artists and writers, and again, a ton of like minor keys that may become major keys as we see them, the ideas in these books used more and more in mainstream media, the MCU, TV shows, etc. Last, we have the first appearance of the Werewolf by Night, not Michael J. Fox's Teen Wolf. Those are different, right? Okay. So Marvel Spotlight on Werewolf by Night. This is number 2. Beautiful book. Relative to the Marvel Spotlight 5, it's not as big of a key. This one's a 6.5 as is. We'll probably get a 7 or a 7.5 once we clean and press it. Still a very affordable key. It's a pretty big milestone as far as the Bronze Age horror from Marvel in the 70s goes. So if you're at all interested in that type of material, this is a great book to keep an eye out for. So I know that was long, and I was talking a lot, but thank you so much for tuning in and checking out this really fun collection. All of the CGC books will be on sale this Friday. I'll probably do some static posts today so you can get a closer look at them on our Instagram. And then we'll be sending off most, if not all, of the raw books right here. So we'll hopefully see them in about 6 months or so. And who knows what the world will be like in 6 months. So hopefully we'll still be here and still get these back, and we'll make another video about it, kind of comparing our predictions to what they ended up being. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see everyone later.